Hey everybody, how's it going today? Today I want to share with you a few of the things that I did with a vocal sample in a remix that I did. The track that I remixed is called Birth of Love, and it's by a really talented producer named Berni Turletti. It's coming out in about a week and a half or so on the Balkan Connection sub-label BC2 Records. I was really excited to work on this track because it, among other things, had some really cool acoustic piano parts, which I haven't really had a chance to work with before. And today what I want to show you is the processing I did to a short vocal sample that was in the remix pack. First, let me play a little bit of the track to give you the context of it, and you'll hear the vocal sample in it. So anyway, there you have the context. Now let me play you a little bit of the vocal sample by itself. As you can hear, there's a fair number of effects on it. I have some delay, some reverb, some EQ, some distortion, and some panning. Let me play you the vocal sample without any of the effects.
Bow. Bow.
As you can hear, it's very dry, no effects at all. I really like the sample because it's very simple, but it has a lot of what I feel is a lot of soul in it, a lot of feeling. But to make it fit in with a progressive track, I felt like I needed to give it some effects to kind of make it, kind of spacey, kind of trippy, kind of cool. So first thing I did was I put on Soundtoys Decapitator plugin. The preset that I started with is called Old Radio Voice, which, as some of you may know, old radio had a very kind of tinny quality to it. There was no low end, and it had a little bit of a crispy distortion to it. So here's what it sounds like with Decapitator on it.
Bow.
I'll do it with and without. This is without. This is with.
Bow. Bow.
Now you could go really crazy with this, like by cranking up the drive and changing the EQ settings. For example, if I crank up the drive,
Bow.
it gets super distorted, but I didn't want to go too crazy with it there. Then the second thing I did was put some EQ on it, and basically I took all the low end off after below 200 hertz. And the main reason I did that is that you really don't need that low frequency energy, and it's just going to interfere with the bass or the kick or both. So here it is without and then with the EQ.
Bow.
This is without.
Bow.
This is with.
Bow. Bow.
As you can hear there, it's really thin now, but in the context of the mix, you don't notice that that low end is missing. Then the next thing I did was I used a panning plugin by Waves. It's called Mondomod. Mondomod actually combines three different effects in one. It has frequency modulation, which is basically vibrato, amplitude modulation, which is basically tremolo, and also it does some panning. So you can choose like different waveforms to control the panning and amplitude and frequency modulation. And you can also change the amount of panning and the depth of the effects. So let me zoom in a little bit here so you can see the plug-in here. On this particular track, I only used panning, which they call rotation here. Let me play you a little bit of the track with and without.
Bow,
This is without.
bow,
This is with.
bow, bow.
I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear that panning effect. I've enabled my phone to take a stereo signal, so hopefully it will. In any case, that's what I use Mondo Mod for. I decided not to use any tremolo or vibrato on this track, but I'm going to do that in the future because it has some pretty cool effects that maybe I'll go into in another video. Then the next thing I did was put a delay on it, and I used basically one of my couple of go-to plugins. I use Logic's tape delay a lot, but I also like FabFilter. And the cool thing about FabFilter, it's FabFilter Timeless is the name of the plugin, is that you are able to put filters on the delay lines, and you can change like the filter frequency and the resonance, etc., so that your delays have some nice, interesting qualities to them. So here it is with and without the delay. This is without,
Bow,
and here's with. And if you take, I'm going to zoom in here. If you take either one of these two frequencies and then boost the resonance basically, you get some really interesting effects. And you can also change the frequency of that you're boosting. So you can get some really, really cool effects, basically, if you just play around with it a lot. I decided not to go too crazy with this and keep it kind of a subtle effect. But on other tracks, I will, use a lot of resonance to have interesting echo effects. And then the last thing I did was I put some reverb on it. As you can hear, it's putting it into a little more of a space, a big space. The particular setting that I used here, this is Logic's Space Designer Reverb. The setting I used here is Piano Warmth, which, obviously they were designing it for to warm up piano sounds. But I tried it on the vocals, just scrolling around, trying different presets, and it sounded pretty cool, so I just used it. So once again, I'll play you the whole track in context. So it makes the vocal sample kind of almost like a textural effect, which I just really liked. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed hearing a little of this track and seeing what I do to affect vocal sounds. The track again is called "Birth of Love" by Berni Turletti, and also there's a really cool remix by Billy Alex as well as my remix. And it's coming out on July 17th on the Balkan Connection sub-label BC2. Hope you have a chance to check out the whole track. And thanks for checking out the video. All right, have a good one, everybody.